All right, here we go. This guy would qualify as an anti-Kyle. Oh, he hates Kyle Rittenhouse. He's absolutely convinced that Kyle is a murderer. He has demonized Kyle to the extent that I haven't seen in quite a while, and yet he's going to rail against demonization. Everything he's going to do is going to be soaked in pure raw emotion and white guilt. There's going to be no evidence presented of anything here. If you're wondering who's on the other side of the rant on Twitter and in my YouTube comments, here we go. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnnie Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnnie Walker Dread Show.
By the way, just as a warning, he does use the F-bomb a lot. I'm actually going to censor them out, but you're going to hear a lot of blank spots in here. He has a real foul mouth.
I signed a petition. Actually, I signed it a while back, but it was a petition about locking up Kyle Rittenhouse.
Petitions don't mean squat. I know what petition you're talking about. You can't send a petition to a judge, asshole. In fact, it's illegal. You know, they do this all the time. Let's petition the judge to have a certain person's bond raised. Let's petition a judge to have a certain person arrested. You can't do that. But okay.
He should be locked up. This fucker. He's a fucking nut. He's a psycho. He's a murderer.
Notice the evidence he presents here so far. Man, he's got it all laid out. Brilliant legal analysis.
He fucking murdered 2 people. Why did he go across state lines? He was 17 at this time. He went across state lines and killed 2 people.
Okay, so he's already showing his ignorance on what happened. He doesn't realize Kyle lives only about 2 miles from the state border. As soon as Kyle drove north, he was into Wisconsin. Furthermore, he works in Kenosha. His best friend lives in Kenosha. His father lives in Kenosha. His job is in Kenosha. He had more reason to be in Kenosha than Antioch. He's a local. Get it through your head.
Huh? Why was he armed with an assault rifle? Why was a 17-year-old armed with an assault rifle and holding it like he was in the military? He was using it like he was in the military.
Well, let's see here. A number of things. Number one, it's not an assault rifle. It's a sporting rifle. Assault rifle is just a term that you guys made up to make it sound really scary. It's a semi-automatic rifle. Big deal. Every time you pull the trigger, it just shoots a bullet. Yeah, sure, it's kind of scary looking. It looks military. But it's a rifle. It's not even a particularly high-powered rifle.
The way he was handling it and whatnot, it was literally like the military.
He's got the rifle in a single-point sling, and if he doesn't hold it, the rifle just bounces around. And so guess what? He's holding the rifle like he would if he was in the military. Yeah, the reason why the military does this is because it's a good thing to do. If he didn't, he would be handling the rifle recklessly. Do you prefer that? I don't get this. Is this just an anti-military rant? Like this guy hates soldiers or something? What's the deal? The way he shoots that rifle is just like what they do in the military. Well, yeah, because in the military you want to be able to hit your target, so they probably have pretty good techniques down, and it's probably not a bad idea to emulate them.
I got, the guy on your world channel talked about that. I'm kind of reiterating.
Well, he's probably an idiot too.
A lot of his points. But anyway, I'm like, He also pointed out, about how they demonized Trayvon Martin. The right-wing media demonized Trayvon Martin, but praises this fucking kid as a hero.
Well, actually, I'm not sure what you mean by demonize. Look, when the whole thing with Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin broke, immediately the media went into their Trayvon Martin is an honor student. And they did everything they could to build up the reputation of that boy. And there's a reason for that. Injustice sells. And they wanted to build up this whole race thing that Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin because of his race. Just like they're trying to build up the whole thing with Kyle Rittenhouse. They're demonizing Kyle so as to sell. You don't believe me? Let's take a look at an example. Jesus Medrano, a person of color. And Jesus allegedly went in and raped a minor. He was a cousin, and she was like 13 years old. And he raped her. And you think, well, that's pretty bad. Oh, it gets better. While he was doing it, his own daughter watched. You think, that's pretty disgusting. Oh my God. Oh, and by the way, he took a machete with him just in case his parents tried to stop him. And they did. And so he sliced them up, killed them both. So he's accused of 2 murders, raping a minor, committing sexual acts in front of a minor. And guess what? He was offered bail. This guy is allegedly, if you believe the charges, and in bail hearings, you do have to believe them, he is psychotic. And he's not from Kenosha. By the way, this all occurred in Kenosha. He's from Louisiana. So he's a huge flight risk. Guess what? They offered him bail. But what's important here is consider the amount of money made by the media about his case. I typed in Jesus Medrano and I got 3 videos. Let's see, I got this first one. Upon hearing Jesus Medrano has 378 views. The next one, Jesus Medrano kills parents, has 200 views. Kenosha man charged with killing parents with machete, about 1,400 views. And that's about it. Media is not making money on this story. Now, let's take a look at Kyle Rittenhouse. I type in Kyle Rittenhouse. What do I get? The first one, NBC, 100,000 views. 190,000 views. 15,000 views. 500,000 views. 1.7 million views. Media is making big money off Kyle Rittenhouse. And so you begin to wonder, well, gee, why is it they try to paint Trayvon Martin in such a beautiful, positive light? It's because they were trying to build up controversy. It got so syrupy, however, that people pushed back and they got sick of it. And they said, look, he can't be all that great. And they went and looked in and they fired back by saying, no, he's not an honor student. No, he's actually been in trouble before. That's not called demonization. That's just trying to present a balanced view. Because Zimmerman is on trial. Zimmerman's future is at stake. His freedom is at stake. It's really important that we don't allow the media to drive the narrative. And the media was trying really hard to paint Zimmerman as a white supremacist out to kill Trayvon Martin because Trayvon was black. And it's all designed to build up a narrative to sell. And you fell for it.
This kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, is a fucking hero. He's not a fucking hero.
I will actually agree with him on this in the sense that I don't think Kyle knew what was going to happen to him that night. And to call him a hero is really counterproductive. I don't want to see him turn into another horse vessel.
It's just bullshit. If Kyle Rittenhouse was a black person, he would be in fucking jail right now. And
demonstrably false, and I have disproven this many times, and idiots like him always keep saying these stupid things. If Kyle was black, he wouldn't have been given bail. That's ridiculous. Don't believe me? Take a look. Crystal Kaiser was freed on bail thanks to Chicago Community Bond Fund. What has Crystal Kaiser been accused of? Murder. Furthermore, they are claiming that she premeditated it. No one is saying that about Kyle. They're claiming that she wanted to kill this man to get his car. She might be innocent, okay, I get it. But when you're setting bail, you take the prosecution's words at face value. And so as far as the court is concerned, she's been accused of premeditating a murder to steal a car. And as far as bail is going to go, they're going to assume that that is correct. Oh, by the way, can we also see a picture of Crystal? Oh, wait a minute. That kind of destroys your narrative, doesn't it now? And I also mentioned already Jesus Medrano. He's a person of color. He was offered bail. His crimes are far nastier than Kyle's. Now, if you still don't believe me, man charged in killing 3 in Wisconsin tavern shooting. He shot 6 people, 3 of them dead. This is in Kenosha. And guess what? He was offered bail. His crimes are worse than Kyle's. He shot far more people. He killed more people. And for the record, Kyle hasn't committed any crimes until he's convicted, and I don't think he's going to be. Rikayo Vinson. That's his name, and nobody out there knows it. And why? The media never pumped this story. There wasn't any racial angle here. And so the media looked at that and said, well, yeah, all right. So they'll report it, but they're not going to pump it up like they did with Kyle Rittenhouse. They see a really nice, juicy race angle, and they pushed this thing as hard as they could go with it. And you saw the results. Let's go ahead and pump this guy's name into YouTube and see how many hits we get. So we get one hit here, 2,500 views, 287 views, 148 views, 1,300, 8,000, 185, 314. Nobody cares. Again, they couldn't figure out how to get a race angle going here. And so they basically dropped it. And you fell for it.
And Ricky Schroeder and all these and the Mike Lindell guy, the Mike Pillow bastard, they would have supported him if Kyle Rittenhouse is a black guy.
Maybe not, but other people would have. The people who sprung Crystal Kaiser, that Chicago Community Fund, they're based out of where? Illinois. And by the way, their mission statement states that the fund is designed to help spring Illinois suspects out of jail. Crystal Kaiser isn't from Illinois, but who is? Kyle. And they did nothing for him. So shove it up your ass.
And, you know, bro, like, so give me that bullshit. So, Ricky Schroeder and fucking Michael Lindell are fucking racist. I don't give a fuck. It is not just because they're right wingers. It's because they fucking supported this murder, that racist Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay, let me tell you something, you little shit, about civics. Let's take Civics 101, innocent until proven guilty. The reason why they support him is because they don't think he's guilty. They're absolutely convinced that he's innocent. So am I. Reason why is that Kyle has a self-defense claim that we find to be very strong, okay? If they really did feel that Kyle was guilty and they still sprung him out, then you might have a point, but you really don't. It's beyond you to understand that if somebody has been accused of a crime, they may not be guilty of it. And it's okay if you think they're not guilty to go ahead and support them financially to get them a lawyer so they can defend themselves in court.
Now, and fuck you. Fuck his family, too. Kyle Rittenhouse's family should all be locked up in jail.
And this is what happens when we don't have proper civics education in this country. Those who have learned a little bit about how the law works would understand that you can't put people in jail unless you accuse them of actual crimes. Wendy Rittenhouse and any of the other people in Kyle's family have not committed any crimes, and that's why they're not in jail. But you will never understand that. You really think that people should be in jail just because you don't like them, because they oppose you politically, because they raise people to think differently than you. Sorry, it doesn't quite work like that.
They shouldn't be allowed to spawn another child into this world. Because, they create a certain mindset that you can do whatever the fuck you want if you're white.
I don't know anybody that thinks that. Kyle doesn't. What mindset are you accusing Kyle of having? That he thinks he can do anything he wants without any kind of accountability? Are you kidding me? All the way home, Kyle was crying to Dominic that he was afraid he was going to go to prison for the rest of his life. Why would he do that if he felt that he could do anything he wanted with no repercussions? Why? Why did he throw open the garbage can? Why did he cry in the police station if he truly felt like he could do anything he wanted and nobody could touch him? Nothing you say matches what happened. And furthermore, Kyle is very pro-police. He's very law and order. And therefore, he fully knows that there are repercussions for breaking the law. He just doesn't think he broke the law because he acted in self-defense. Self-defense is another concept that just simply gets by you. You don't understand it at all.
That's a mindset. That's a mindset a lot of quite a few white people have. How could an unarmed person be deemed more of a villain than a fucking murderer of two fucking people?
Well, if he's an actual murderer of two people, he can't. However, Kyle has not been convicted of anything yet. When are you going to get it through their thick skull that Kyle just might be innocent? Kyle has a self-defense claim. We're going to have a trial to find out if that claim holds up. With you, though, you just want him thrown in prison now. You don't want a trial for him. And that's the reason why I say that people like him, they want Kyle convicted regardless of the evidence. They don't care if he's innocent or not. And it's not an exaggeration to say that. And by the way, just because a person is unarmed doesn't make him good.
Huh? So if you demonize Trayvon Martin and you praise Kyle Rittenhouse, you're a fucking racist.
This is self-hatred, and it's getting kind of tiresome here.
You are a piece of fucking shit. Every last one I know I don't think there's any leftists that demonize Trayvon Martin and praise Kyle Rittenhouse. But this is right wingers who do this shit. And you I'm not gonna say all right wingers do this, but there's a lot of them that fucking do. And you motherfuckers are fucking bastards for this.
So far, we have heard no evidence whatsoever that Kyle is guilty of anything. He hasn't offered any reason, no nothing. The reason why he thinks Kyle is guilty is because Kyle is white. This is all about self-hatred. White guilt, as they call it.
Every one of you right-wing fucks who demonize Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice and Andrew Brown and or George Floyd, you say they're bastards. you imply that they deserved it.
Okay, gross oversimplification, especially with Tamir Rice. I don't know of anybody that says that Tamir Rice deserved it. However, we do understand that Tamir Rice did some things there that really complicated things for him. He took the orange plug off his pistol and made it look very real. I get it. He's a young kid. He's 13. It was probably more fun to play with the thing if it looked realistic. But unfortunately, it was a tragic mistake. He shouldn't have done it. And he went waving the pistol around town and stuff like that and caused alarm in people. Yeah, he didn't think he was doing anything harmful there, but he did do it. Oh, and by the way, the same people who defend Tamir Rice and say he did nothing wrong are all over Kyle because he walked around with a rifle. And Kyle didn't even wave it at anybody. But they're okay with Tamir Rice taking out what looks like a real 1911 and waving around in public. They have no issue with that. Now, did Tamir deserve to die? No, it was a tragic mistake. But the things he did sort of led up to it. The police did pull in too close. That didn't give them enough reaction time. They might have overreacted. I don't know. I wasn't in their shoes. I didn't see what they saw. Andrew Brown was an idiot. Are you praising him as a saint? Not only did he try to escape arrest, he tried to run over one of the police officers, and yeah, they shot him up. I don't know if they should have or not, but to paint him as just a saint beyond approach, and that's what you're wanting. You want these people to be beyond reproach, so you can't even question anything in their background. If you do, it's demonization. And truth of it is Andrew Brown was not a nice dude at all. And he came from a family of criminals. He was just like them. And I'm sorry, but you know what? If you do a lot of crime, it's too damn bad when people bring that up when something bad happens to you. Don't do crime, and you won't have that problem. George Floyd, yeah, you know what? You have a police officer that might go to jail for a long time. People are going to examine the background of the victim. And it turns out that, guess what? George Floyd was kind of an asshole too. Does that mean he deserves to die? No, but it is part of the story. And there's nothing wrong with looking into the backgrounds of these people. Again, if you don't like people looking in your background and finding out that you did a robbery or assaulted someone, don't do those things. But if you do, too bad.
And you praise Kyle Rittenhouse, you can fuck off.
Praise Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse has no criminal background. And we think that he acted in self-defense. We know he was there for mostly good reasons. His intentions were pretty good. I don't see anything that indicates that he was out there to hurt anybody. And he has no criminal background. And therefore, he's a lot easier person to defend. The people he shot, criminals.
Every last one of you who fucking does that. You know, what it is what a lot of you fuckers are, is you always see black men as the fucking villain, and white guys as the fucking hero.
I think you're kind of doing the same thing in just reverse, really. I don't think you're any better.
That's what it is. That's how your mindset is. Again, this is not every right winger, but this is those who fucking know who I'm fucking talking about. This is such bullshit. It pisses me off that you know you praise a murderer.
Again, we don't think he's a murderer. That's why we praise him. I don't praise him, but I'll defend him. I'll support him. Because I don't think he's a murderer, because I looked at the evidence and I think that he acted in self-defense. If I really truly felt that he murdered those guys, I wouldn't be supporting him. But you can't understand that.
But yet you demonize people like George Floyd. He had a knee over his fucking neck.
Yeah, and he was also a pretty bad dude too. I'm sorry. You look into his background. Hey, he was not a good dude. I'm sorry. You know what? No, you can't recreate him in some sort of glorious light. It doesn't work like that. If you don't want people to demonize you, don't be a criminal.
He didn't deserve to fucking die. No?
How would you like to try to talk sense into this dude on something? Be impossible.
Nobody's sanctifying George Floyd.
Oh no, nobody is sanctifying George Floyd? Are you kidding me? That's all they have done. They even have statues now devoted to him. That's not sanctifying?
But I'm not gonna say just because he did some wrong things in his past that I'm not gonna say that he deserved to die.
Okay, I have a real problem with demonization, but I also have a hard time with euphemisms. He did some wrong things. No, he did some really bad things. Call it like it is. Don't pull this shit.
He didn't deserve to die, he deserved to live. Like the rest of us. George Floyd deserved to live. As Breonna Taylor obviously deserved to live. Like the rest of us humans on Earth. You know?
Yeah, you also know who deserve to live? Regina Nichols and Dennis Tuttle, the Harding Street Massacre victims. You have never heard of them, have you? I guarantee it. You don't even know who they are. You're probably heading to Google as soon as you hear this. And when you do, you're in for a shock. Because this was a white couple. They were sitting in their homes and the police barged in. They tried to defend themselves. The police killed them both and their dog. Does this sound familiar? Yeah, it does. In fact, it's worse than the Breonna Taylor deal. The reason? The police officers who got the no-knock warrant on them faked the evidence. They claimed there was an informant who did not exist. That's far worse than what happened with Breonna. Oh, and by the way, the two police officers that have been arrested for that were both black. Yeah, so you see, you don't know about this. Why the media hasn't pushed this thing up. Let's take a look and see how much exposure this has received. I just type in Regina Nicholas. By the way, I said Nichols. It's Nicholas. You see how little exposure it has? I can't even get her name right. Regina Nicholas's mother addresses botched police raid. 12,000 views. Inside the Harding Street house where Regina and Dennis Tuttle lived and died. 13,000 views. Neighbor speaks out after documents reveal flawed information. 15,000 views. 1,000 views. 1,300 views. Now, let's type in Breonna Taylor. Almost 1 million views. 240,000 views. 500,000 views. 300,000 views. Almost 1 million views. So you see, you're getting played. And you're just too stupid to realize it.
But, you know, she just another black person just murdered by the police.
Yeah, like Regina Nicholas and Dennis Tuttle were just two more white people murdered by the police. And the police that murdered them, both black.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
No, it's perfectly believable. We already had precedent for this. Tuttle and Nicholas were shot before Breonna Taylor. Why are you just saying it's unbelievable? It's perfectly believable. It's been done before. But you didn't know about it.
You know, I'm just like so fucking pissed off at you know, these right wingers who say, you know, who act like they are morally superior, that their morals are superior to everybody else's on planet Earth. But yet you defy a lot of this, the morals you pretend to espouse.
Oh yeah, that's only right wingers do that. Mm-hmm.
And fucking, you know, this is some of your fuckers who, you know, have such a fucked up mindset. People like Kyle Rittenhouse, such a fucked up mindset.
You haven't even told us what his mindset is. What is his mindset? When are you going to tell us? What was he thinking?
It's fucked up, when you train, when you teach, be so obsessed with guns like that. I mean, I get it if you let's say you have guns and you want self-defense. That's one thing, but when you are so fucking obsessed with guns, these are weapons that kill people.
That's why you use them for self-defense. It's because they can do damage. He had one rifle, a rifle. I think that's the only rifle he owned.
When you're so obsessed with that, this is so fucked up.
And by the way, I have to say something, man. You are too old to be using such limited vocabulary. Where in the hell did you go to school? I mean, seriously, you've had to have gone through 13 years of public school. You're old enough to have gone to college. And this is how you talk? This is your vocabulary? This is the depth of level that you can examine something?
It's unbelievable to me. It's like, so fucked up.
And I'll tell you something else. Kyle's obsession with guns didn't get anybody killed. He was walking around the town and there was nobody bothering him. And he wasn't bothering anybody else. What got people killed was they attacked him. That's what got people killed. Attacking a person carrying a rifle. It wasn't the rifle alone. A lot of people carried rifles that night that didn't shoot anybody.
A lot of, and it goes to show you how, how a lot of white people, they what kind of evil shit are you teaching these little white kids?
Okay, so what are the evil things that we're teaching white kids? Okay, judging by what's going on in the media, we're teaching them that, communism is good, rioting is good. We're teaching them that police are murderous pigs. We're teaching them a lot of these things. You really think that our nation's youth are being brought up on conservative principles? No, they're being brought up on leftist principles, and a lot of it is Stalinist Marxist. And they're the ones that are tearing the hell out of places.
No. What kind of lies are you teaching them?
Stalin is good. Everything would be better if we just had communism. Capitalism has to be destroyed. We need to defund the police because police do nothing but oppress people. Those are the lies that are being taught.
What kind of propaganda is society programming white kids?
Oh, don't even get me started on the propaganda, dude. You don't even know propaganda. Propaganda is the core element of the Black Lives Matter Antifa regime.
I think this is harming. One of the most harming effects of our society is when society paints black people as fucking criminals, and when they paint white people as fucking heroes, as all superheroes, like they're the fucking angels, and they paint black people as evil.
Yeah, the self-hate here is just incredible.
When that's such bullshit. That's a fucking lie. That's a lie straight from fucking hell, from Satan himself. Well,
not just any lie, it's a lie from Satan.
So, this demonization of black people in this country is unfucking believable.
Not really. It's the same demonization that you're employing on Kyle Rittenhouse and his family, by the way, who you want in jail, even though they haven't broken any laws. You want his mother in jail just through guilt by association. That's demonization, if there ever was. And by the way, the whole white people, what they're doing, this is demonization. You can't tell me he's not demonizing white people. He is. He's absolutely doing that.
Especially those black people who die at the hands of police. They're always demonized. Every last one of them was fucking demonized.
Well, their criminal backgrounds were brought up and discussed. That's not demonization. Sorry. Again, if you don't want to have your background brought up, don't do crimes.
Particularly by the right-wing media. And fucking demonizing them. Every last one of them. But they praise Kyle Rittenhouse. They praise George Zimmerman. That low-key tells you how they are.
By the way, George Zimmerman was acquitted. Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman got into a scuffle. We don't know what happened. We weren't there. You weren't there. I wasn't there. In fact, there were no eyewitnesses. So what is the evidence against George Zimmerman? Very little. A jury heard it. A jury came back and said, not guilty. And yet, you're calling him a murderer. Is that not demonization? That you would call a person a murderer even after he's been acquitted in a court of law? Sure sounds like demonization to me.
Most of them. Fuckers. If you praise Kyle Rittenhouse and demonize Trayvon Martin, you can go to hell.
Well, you see the problem. Railing against demonization while doing it yourself. Tons of white guilt, a call to convict people on purely emotional reasons. Do you really think you're going to be able to convince that dude of anything, no matter what the evidence says? Again, I've said this before. There's a certain element of people out there that if they had a box that contained the truth that would exonerate Kyle Rittenhouse, they would bury it. There's one of them right there. How many in here think that if that person saw the evidence that clearly showed that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, that he would be swayed by it? He cannot be reached. He's already made up his mind. The evidence doesn't matter. All that drives him is white guilt, a hatred for the right, and, oddly enough, demonization of those who oppose him. Like my video, subscribe to my channel. Oh, and by the way, he can go to hell.